Welcome to Dirty AF, the podcast where we get down and dirty with dirt track racer Jason Brandes and his race crew. We'll go over highlights, lowlights, and everything in between. Sometimes you'll laugh, sometimes you'll cry, and there might even be times where you get downright angry with us. But in every episode, we hope that you are left with the desire to join us in getting dirty as... Alright, welcome to the 7th episode of Dirty AF. I am your host, Nicole Wilson, and it is the evening of July 30th, 2021, and I am sitting here tonight after the Friday night races in Gravity Park with Jolly, Jason, Chunky, and Eric Derks, car 88. On the track tonight, Jason came in 5th in the heat race and 4th in the feature. So, boys, what was going on tonight?
I think we missed the setup in the heat race for sure. Car lacked a lot of grip. That's about all I can say about that. Besides,
it's the first time they let us run in the top 2 in the running order.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do with the
we didn't know
track that actually had oyster on it anymore.
Yeah, didn't know where to go in the setup.
I know usually we're doing this podcast and there aren't races going on, and they're going on tonight.
Yeah, they are. We're ahead of schedule tonight. Yeah, besides, I mean, we missed a little bit in the setup, but in the heat. But other than that, I think the feature was good. Top 5 again. I don't know what it's going to take to beat them other 3 guys, but I think we'll get there. Maybe. I don't know. Not real sure.
Yeah, it was the finish tonight was in points. First, second, third, fourth. You guys all are, that's where you're.
That's exactly where we finished.
Yep.
Top 4 guys in 4 points were top 4 cars. Kind of sucks, but eventually we'll figure it out, I think. Eric, your point of view, what did you think of the feature?
I was, the feature, I went to the back from the front, started on the pole, I don't know. How many cars were there? 14?
I think
14
so, yeah.
or 15, I think.
Might have been 13th. I think extremely missed the setup on the feature, but I was happier in the heat race, which I was going to say when you were talking about that, is a lot of times when you're happy in the heat race, if you don't change anything, you're going to be bad in the feature, and vice versa. But if you didn't work good in the heat race and everything was set up already for the feature, maybe I need to work on that.
Well, we definitely, it's funny that you bring that up, is because Jolly went back in the old Bible book and went to a different couple of wetter, tackier setups that we have in the book written down, and it wasn't good, you know. And I mean, you changed everything straight back to last week's feature race to run the feature tonight. So I mean, they did a lot of work on the car to get back out there for the feature. It's almost like we figured out more now how to run on a dry slick than we have on a tacky track, and it's different for us.
And we used to be so good on wet and horrible on dry. Like, we couldn't keep the car. I mean, we're lucky if we didn't finish in the bottom friggin' 3 or 4 cars in the dry end. Did a lot of research and all that, but now all of a sudden it's like we've been in the dry so long now for how many weeks in a row that all of a sudden we were back into the moisture, and it's like, how the hell do I set this car up for this now, you know? And it didn't work quite like I thought it was going to, but it was a little more slimy, though. It seemed like in 1 and 2 versus 3 and 4, where it seemed like it drove better in 3 and 4 for the tack, where 2 seemed to be more slime. There's a difference between a tack track and
I thought there was slime in 1 and 2 in the heat race. What did you think about that? You ran the second heat race, right?
I stayed on the bottom.
Did you find slime down there, or was it?
Well, yeah, there was a little bit, right? I mean, but I was so close to the infield, I know, coming off at 2. That's where I stayed. I stayed right down there.
We stayed down there too, but like in my heat race, I felt there was a lot of slime down there. The car just didn't want to grip coming out of it. It was like you hit the throttle coming out of the corner, and it was just like a dead tire spin.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel like my left side tires might have been in a little bit of slime, but I was happy.
glad you were.
You were happy in the right one. But the funny thing is Parker's car.
Parker, what did you do? I gotta ask. I don't want to cut you off here, but I gotta ask. What'd you do to Parker's car? Because Parker's car is really
been like the
really
last
good,
3
really
weeks.
good
Has
the
really
last
been,
3 weeks.
I mean, compared to where he started 6-7 weeks ago to where he is this last 3 or 4 has really changed dramatically.
We had come out. I think what started it off is probably maybe 4 or 5 races ago. Well, yeah, races ago because we had that night off. But we started in the back. Parker was going to start on the front. He was going to start on the pole. He's like, I'm starting in the back. Second getting run over, and we both were in the back. Moved up to like 6th or 7th, and we were happy. We had a good night. Both finished passing cars. We came out, and he finished, I think, 7th, 2 weeks in a row, and then it kind of had a bad night where he just was like 10th or something, maybe 12th. We came out on Sunday, put about 50 laps on the car, and the track was packed down like it was almost like a race night track. Like, I don't know what he did, because then a week after that, I came out. This was last Sunday, after last Friday's debacle in practice, and it was just dust. So that Sunday didn't help me, but I think it really helped him. Because that was that last Friday when he led all the laps.
Yeah. I mean, I give hats off to him. I mean, he's the last 2-3 weeks. I mean, the guy's been racing the wheels off his car, and I mean, obviously that's what you come here to do. But
well, because in the feature tonight, I mean, you ran alongside of him of what the first 10 laps. You two, you just neither one of you were giving up any room. I mean, you were like right there, but he always seemed to just be ahead of you, and it's just like, and you know, like when you first started racing this year, and you know, and guys are, and Scotty's telling you, you know, dude, it's all about laps, you know, and some of it's just laps. I mean, you know,
you're right.
gain confidence in himself and or in yourself, and it makes a big difference too.
Yep.
And I think that helped that Sunday practice. You know, he had about 50 laps on the car, and that's seat time. Everybody always says seat time, and the funny thing is, when we started out, 2019, he started in the blue car. The tracks, we come out and practice. We were out here Sunday, Wednesday, whenever we could. Maybe not every week, but I got him out here practicing a lot. I think I probably had 200 laps of practice alone that year. And they were always dry. So he's been so used to driving on the dry tracks. And I come from Old Chilton, where I don't know if you remember, but all slimy to first heat races were. Holy moly! And then 141 got wet a few times, and
well, the old Chilton thing about the ruts that were in that track too.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't know where to put the car on the old Chilton because.
So when we got his last year fall classic, I think is what kind of kicked everything in. He got a heat race win. He had I think a 4th or 5th in the second heat race, or the first heat race, and then a win in the second one. Finished 5th in the feature, and it was all dry. And what we did is that night I took we had all the shocks off of the blue car that I had and put them on his car finally. And I changed some setup stuff with, I think, maybe up the left side percentage or something like that. And that's the way the car has been since September 2020. And we built this car now, the 88 over winter. That's a new car with the blue car's cage on, new frame underneath it. I tried mimicking everything I did on his car. We're missing shocks. We don't have the same shocks, so I don't know if that's...
Shocks are a big thing. I'm going to tell you right now, I noticed a huge difference. Like, I mean, granted, my car last year was a full-size car. We only ran it half the season, but I noticed within the first, after we had the transmission problem, the next 3 weeks after that, with the brand new shocks in that car, I noticed the difference handling-wise, grip-wise, and everything just by having. an actual shock package. You know, we went in the off season or whatever. We went and bought Bilstein's street stock package of shocks, and I can notice the difference in that. And I think he's learned a lot about setting the car up from that. So, I mean, shocks are a big thing. You're not joking there.
Well, in a street stock, shocks, weight, and tire pressure. I mean, tire stator. I mean, that's all you got to work with.
Right.
You can't put a turn in. You can't do any of that crap. So
Yep.
that's all you got to work with to make your car better. So that's what you got to use.
I keep teasing him when he's on date night with the girlfriend. I'm going to take all the shocks off and put them on my...
Also, next week when he's in the front and he's in the back,
Yeah,
we'll
we know what happened. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Eric
we'll all be in that secret.
Yep.
Hopefully, don't listen to the podcast.
Eric stole some shit off the kid's car. That's what happened.
No, really. I want him to be a better driver than I am. Get a Ford up there in Victory Lane. I mean, I've been driving these Torinos for 12, 13 years. So I can get us a heat race win out of them. I felt pretty good about getting a heat race win this year, earlier in the year. We build the cars out of our garage, you know, just like you guys.
Yeah.
It just kind of validates. I mean, although it's only a heat race, but it's still checker flag.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I think, you know, we had some good finishes up here, and we had some not so good nights or whatever. I think the biggest thing, confidence builder for me, was that night we went up to the hill, and we cut that right front tire down or whatever in the heat race,
Yep.
and we had a good car that night. And to me, what happened in that heat race was what happened exactly in the Friday night here when we cut 2 tires down in the feature. And I said to Jolly that night through the podcast, I even said to him, I'm like, dude, I don't even know if I want to go racing. You know, we went $280 in tires, and then we cut that tire in the heat race. Jesus Christ, we're $420 deep in tires in 2 nights here. Like, I told him, I'm like, I don't even know if I want to. But then we went out there for the B main at the hill, and Jesus Christ.
All of a sudden, the car just woke up and
The
he
car
got
came
out in
up.
the clean air and he was long gone.
I think we beat everybody up in the hill by
almost freaking like at least a quarter and almost a half a lap in the B man.
Well, the one car you lapped twice.
You're right, that one car I lapped, and that was, for me, that was a big change for me. All of a sudden the confidence came in him, the confidence came in myself, the confidence came in you, and I was like, okay, from now on, I'm not giving nobody my opinion. I just shut up and drive now. That's what these guys tell me to do all the time. Prior to that, I'd put my 2 cents in here and there. Nope, I'm done now. All I need to worry about is what I gotta do.
Well, and then it was the week after you came here and won the
Yeah, the race. No, the
No.
week after we came here and won the feature.
feature.
And
Oh, yeah.
then the week after that, we won another heat race.
Right.
And I mean, things, I mean, we're just getting more and more confident in what we're doing. And 33W over there, after the feature today, he's like, the car was just wicked loose. That's what he said to me. And I said to him, I said, was it wicked loose because of the way you were driving it? Or was it wicked loose because of the way you set it up? He asked me straight out, he's like, well, how do you tell the difference? I said, go talk to Jolly. I think I complained to Jolly twice this year about a wicked loose car. I actually, after a heat race one night, I went the entire night without talking to him. That's how mad I was.
Yeah, you come in, steering wheel went flying, helmet went flying.
Yeah, well, that was the night that I started playing with the Mother 3 shot. The Mother 3
I
shots and
climbed
the
out of
7
the car.
shot package.
I climbed out of the car. I pointed my finger at him and I said, I can't drive a fucking car like that. You can't give me a better fucking car than that. This is bullshit. And I fucking walked away. We ended up top 5 in the feature
I fixed it.
because he fixed it. And then I told him, that's how you set up a car. Don't ever fucking do that to me again.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, check that one off the list. Don't do
But,
that.
you know, that's just it, is when you're...
It's a brand new car to us.
When you're trying to get over a hump, right? like, you know, we were just having this discussion before you showed up about, you know, okay, we're 2 weeks in a row at 4th. How do we get past the 1, 2, and 3 points, guys, and get to that 3rd or 2nd spot? Where are we? We're 4th 2 weeks in a row. We finished 4th. That's where we are in points, and it's like you can't get over the hump until you can beat them guys. And what does that take? You know, that night you get a 7 shock package for a reason. Well, if it wasn't quite right with this, what if I put this shock here? What does it do? So I did it. He didn't like it, but
Now you know what it did.
now I know what it doesn't do. It don't make the car drive good. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you got to figure it out, and you know, that's the hard part is now you're in this position. You don't want to go too far because what are you going to do? You can fucking catapult yourself back freaking 3 spots in points if you fuck it up too bad. So, I don't know. That's the hard part right now is trying to get over that hump.
Yeah.
I tried something different, dude, tonight too. Though while we were racing, like, you know, I started out on the outside. Usually after the first lap, if I see a way to cut it down to the bottom, I cut it down to the bottom because I like running down there. You know,
How'd you like the outside?
kind of addicted at this point.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun running up there.
Yeah.
Like, the car seems like it rolls better. It holds more momentum up there, and as long as he did what he did tonight on that kind of track to put me up top and be able to hold my own out there, I'll scrape her across the wall if I got it down because I know what it's going to do up there. Before I was so afraid to put it up there because I didn't know how the car was going to react.
Sure. Yeah, before we get through this, hell of a job by driving tonight, huh? Green and checkered for the feature?
We have one caution.
No?
No.
No.
Green and checkered.
No,
Green the
yeah.
checker.
We never
It
had
was
caution.
it was
I
an
kinda
amazing
hoping
race
they were
tonight.
gonna.
Yeah.
Oh,
I kind of really wanted them to have one.
Yeah,
it was.
there was
It
no
another
stop.
good- Yeah.
Yeah.
That don't happen a lot in any division, but as the way the night started out, I think there was a caution in every single heat race.
In that
Yeah.
sport mod feature, I shut the car off. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. We're 3 laps into this thing. Caution. Then they took the green and all of a sudden caution again. And I'm like, okay.
Well, and that's like in your feature, you know, it's very odd that you guys didn't have a caution with a certain driver out there.
Well,
But you guys have been,
Since it-
you guys tend to run. You guys have been running better at that. I mean, overall though, I mean, you think about it. I remember the beginning of the season. I mean, for you guys not to have 3 or 4 cautions a race.
Yeah.
Now, if you have 1, I mean, I think in the last like 4 weeks, I think you had 2 cautions in 4 races.
yeah.
I mean, but it goes to show too, though, it's kind of the skill of the drivers, more of the respect of each other, or not slamming everybody up against the wall. I mean, Gundram was all over your ass when you were outside of the 87 car tonight, and he was looking for a place to go, and he just couldn't go nowhere because you had the 87 inside, you were outside, and the only way he was going is if he was making it 3 wide, and he didn't want to do that.
No, it was another good feature race tonight. It really was.
It was a good race to watch.
We've had people numerous message us or whatever, even fans that have never been here before, come down and watch like the night we won the feature. Like, and you know, I've got a couple messages already tonight. Like, there's people in the stands. They're like, that's probably the best feature race of the night right there.
Yeah.
And
What, nobody messaged you?
Nobody messaged me.
oh,
Hey, maybe wait now that you're at the now after you're on the
On the
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah,
you never know.
podcast, you're
You
what's
know,
your
we can
secret?
search you out on Facebook, and then all of a sudden people will be messaging you all over the place.
Oh, shoot.
Hey, maybe next year Derks Auto will be on the car.
Yeah.
You squeeze a little sticker out of him.
We don't
maybe.
run a Ford.
Oh.
You know, speaking of the Ford conversation,
We
before-
should put him outside with my dad at
because
this point.
when Gatesy came up here before, he's like, he goes, Christ, that freaking 87, freaking Derks. He goes, Christ, he's been running really solid the last 3 or 4 weeks. I go, yeah, me and Jay were talking about that, and he's like, yeah, maybe he finally put a Chevy in that Ford. Oh, we got a good chuckle out of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jeff. I know you and your Ford too. I know you always scold me when I talk about that.
Yeah. My old man's a Ford lover too. So.
He sounds like a great guy.
He is.
a great guy, you know.
But we still give him shit about his Ford.
Yeah,
all
we
the
give
time.
him shit about it all the time. But, you know.
It's all in good fun.
Yeah. Other than that, no, great job by Parker again tonight. I thank you two for joining us with this because we're just trying to have fun, you know.
Yeah, having fun. Are you dried out yet from that feature wet night? You got a little wet, are you?
At first, the first time you hit me with the son of a bitch when I came across there, I didn't know who did it. I was like, who the fuck was that guy? Then you came walking back up and did it again. I'm like, fucking Derks. That's a long story. I'll let you explain the story about the water extinguisher.
All right, every old Chelton driver that wins a feature over here at Gravity Park, I like to spray with the water fire extinguisher.
That was at the CCRA at the fairgrounds.
Anybody over at CCRA. Maybe I missed a couple guys. I don't know. Just the ones that either I raced against or maybe raced against in the past. So Jason got it when he got his feature, and he got soaked pretty good. Did you have a dry shirt along? Or
Yeah, we did. We had dry clothes along. That's for sure.
If my car was here, we had enough clothes to clothe us all.
Right.
Maybe not chunky.
No.
I don't know if you know this, but that night you did that. That was my first ever feature win.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The only other wins I've had was heat races in my challenge car, and a heat race in my very first street stop before.
Okay.
He even slept with the trophy.
He did. He brought the trophy up. He. All right, I'm going to bed.
Now you want to start chiming in and being a smart ass. Huh?
Well, it wouldn't be a podcast without Chunky.
Yeah, that's right.
I had to wait for my roll.
This is the smart ass of our group. The guy works his ass off. I mean, he does a lot of help, but he's also I work with him every day, so he's like the guy that always pokes.
Got it.
Well, congratulations on your first feature win.
That was a good feeling.
And I remember my first feature win from the CCRA back in the days, the old Pro 4. And I remember the last feature win. It's been a long time. Yeah, I've had many people tell me, hey, why are you running the Ford? Why, and lately they've been telling me to quit, so.
Maybe he just needs a jelly in his pit stall.
Yep, maybe you
That
could
could
be
be-
a
It could be
maybe you should quit pitting down here. And come
Just
up
don't
here.
ask me to wire nothing, because Ford's wiring's all fucked up compared to Chevy's.
maybe I gotta just be the jolly in my kid's pit stall.
There you
You
go.
could do that
Yeah.
too.
Working out.
Well,
Yeah.
like I said, hats off to Parker. He's been driving the wheels off his car the past few weeks. I'm proud of him. He's earning my respect as a driver out on the track, and he keeps running that good. I mean, he's the next one in line. You know.
Hey, can I plug the sponsors?
Absolutely.
You can.
Absolutely.
Hey, and on Parker's behalf for Heat Race winning second place last week, he'd like to thank Al Derks Auto Body, Hildy's Deli and Bakery, Riverview Auto Transport, and a joint sponsor that we share with Jason Brandes, Brady's Automotive in Hilbert.
Whoop,
Oh,
whoop.
all right. I didn't know Brady's was on your car.
Yeah, he gets the 2-for-1 deal.
Oh. Jolly's brother Chad
Works over at Brady's.
works over at Brady's. He's one of the
Brady's is our tire changer /
Oil.
used oil depository.
yeah.
And he gets rid of all our old tires.
He did a couple of axle bearings for me, and I lower control arm bushings. I think we waited to got rid of some tires over there too. I got a utility trailer full of G60s that are all junk. I was gonna call them up tomorrow.
You know, and that's the thing. You know, that's the thing about a guy like Brady. You know, we're not asking you for money. We're asking you for a place to get rid of some shit. And if he's okay with it, I'm proud to put him on the car. You know.
I mean, I've rolled in there already Friday after work at 200 before race day and go, Chad, you busy? He's like, why? I got 2 tires. Can you really change them? Especially when we were on that streak. I think we lost like 5 tires in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And it was like, dude, I need a new tire. I need a new tire put on that. I need another tire put on here. And he's like, Jesus Christ, what the hell are you guys doing? You know? But, you know,
It's nice
Friday,
though.
like,
Chunky didn't
yeah,
have
Friday, I'm like, Saturday morning before we went to the hill that Friday night, we cut 2 tires. He flipped both of them Saturday morning before we left for the hill. And so, them guys are great.
They are. It's a good bunch over there. Helpful. Call them on a dime, they show up. Somebody will be there for you. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know what else we got. I think thank again Eric for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me on here, even though I invited myself after the first episode.
Yeah, well, you ditched us last week. We were done by the time you got up here.
I may not have wanted to talk after last week.
Yeah, we even sent Nick out looking for you.
Yeah, we did. We sent Nick looking for you. You were down there.
See, Chunky can't ever miss no more. You would have found him.
We got the 2 cars, 1 trailer. I like getting 1 car home. I got one of them home already, and then I shot over here.
That's because I told you last week already. Get your ass up here so you can get this over and done with. I gotta say though, Eric, it's been a lot of fun racing this year. So far, we're enjoying it. You might not enjoy it because you don't often finish in front of us, but
Thanks.
that's that Ford stuff, buddy. That's that Ford stuff.
A guy could write a book on how not to go about racing because we've had so many issues. You guys had issues too. I mean, I'm not any different than anybody else.
No,
Right.
The
That's
guys
racing.
that seem to be winning all the time got their issues figured out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I could say, you could probably say.
Knocking on wood.
Yeah.
That's the one differential between last year's car and this year's car, and the knowledge I've learned is the little things that I took for granted last year, and then this fucking bolt blew up, or this one tore apart, and we lost the lower trail arm,
Trailing
and then
arm.
we lost an upper, and this happened, and this
The brake caliper locked up on us, what, three times last year?
Like, just little things like that.
Just
and
little
it's like,
stupid shit.
now a lot of that stuff I don't take for chance. I go crawl underneath that car every week, and I make sure to tranny bolts, cross member bolts, every freaking bolt on this car, nothing loosens up. I lower A-frame arms. I mean, I check everything. Motor mounts, you name it. Every week. Before it's like, well, it's tight. I mean, Christ, your car, you don't have to do it on your freaking regular car. Well, this is a race car. You beat it up a lot harder, and it's a lot harder on it, so you check it.
Right.
That's some of the things that helped us not tear apart the car. Because, I mean, how many times last year did we lose and this bolt broke or snapped, and this one lost its nut, and this and that.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of that stuff we did.
That's been Parker's summer job. I go trucking during the week, and Parker's at home working on both cars, checking the nuts and bolts and stuff. And I gotta thank him for getting that stuff done.
It's a big deal, ain't it?
We won't be
It's
able to
a
race.
big deal. We've learned that. It's a big deal to fine-tooth Thursday nights. Jolly's there every Thursday. He fine-tooth combs that car from front to back. Fine-tooth comb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes a difference.
I mean, I even found a greaser that decided in the steering somewhere that disappeared from last week to this week. I don't know why or how, but
Hey,
it
but
was
there's
gone.
There's a greaser in
I
it
know.
now. Yep. Apparently it fell out last week.
Because I didn't really think I had to tighten them, but I guess now I do. Now the wrench I gotta turn. I did find another one that was like half threaded out.
The damnedest things back out or loosen up, and that could be the one part that. I mean, I don't think a greaser is going to do it, but I mean, something could fail,
And that's that.
That's it.
And there you sit. You know.
Well, if it's supposed to have grease and it runs out of it, eventually it's gonna fail.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to wrap this episode up by thanking you guys all so much for sharing your thoughts with us, and Eric for joining us today, and our listeners for listening. You all show us such amazing support while we're out here doing what we love. New episodes of Dirty AF are released on Tuesdays at noon Wisconsin time on all your favorite podcasting platforms. Be sure to subscribe where you are listening so you don't miss an episode. And just a reminder that we want everyone here listening to join us in person every Friday night at Gravity Park in Chilton, Wisconsin. The pit gates open at 3, spectator gates open at 5, and the races start at 7. We'll see you then. Thank you. You have been listening to Dirty AF, the podcast with the Brandes Racing crew. Join us again next week where we will once again be getting dirty as...